Good evening, everyone. So today is a Thursday, the 16th of April, that we're all gathering here this time to do this evening chanting. So today we are again going to study the Dhamma from the discourse on the social duties for all humans, based on the Singalavada Sutta, or the discourse that given to the householder called Singala. And we have discussed on a certain aspects of morality and also the practices in order to save the wealth. And one of the reasons how one can save money or wealth is not to indulge in intoxications or intoxicants, taking alcohol and drugs, which is the first cause of dissipating the wealth. Now the second one is the 6 evil consequences of rooming in the street in the late night, or basically going out during the night. And that's not just dangerous, but also is a cause of losing the wealth. And the Buddha laid down that there are 6 reasons why once a while goes out to the nightings, the consequences that that person will face. So he, according to the Buddha, says that that person becomes unprotected and unguarded. As we know, there is always mischievous things takes place, and if it's in the dark, then a more vulnerable or vulnerability is there. There was a case that a monk was living in Southall, London, about 15-20 years ago, not 20, about 30 years ago. And he was coming back from the train station to the Vihara in Southall. One of the corners were a little bit dark. A few people came and grabbed him, and he said that he was left and cornered and stolen all the money, including his identities. So he went through a very difficult time after that. Psychologically, he was very drained, and also mentally, as well as have a fear of going out. So later he decided not to stay in London and went to America. Now he lives in Boston. He established a temple in Boston. And similarly, there are many other stories that we all familiar. The case of beating or case of raping normally takes place during the dark time. 10 years ago, when I was living in Constitution Street, on that early morning, there was a big head news that one of the girls who worked all night shift, was walking back to her flat, and it was still a little dark. She was taken and raped by the corners. Police managed to catch him and imprisoned, but that did not help this lady. So this lady mentally became very disturbed and could not go back to work for many years. So such stories are there too. That's why when someone is going out in the night or nighting, pretty often they themselves put themselves into the vulnerable situation. And that's the reason why you will lose the wealth. In the case of a monk, he lost wealth. That is the example. Now another reason, the second consequences that the Buddha spoke about is that family members become unprotected and unguarded. So this is again another cause of losing the wealth. The third one, their property becomes unprotected and unguarded. And the fourth one, that person becomes suspected of committing crimes and evil deeds. And for this, there are stories of imprisoned for wrong reasons or in the wrong place. And the persecution is there. There is one particular story in America. This boy who just went to from Thailand to America for work. And it happened that on the night he went into one of the shops, and in that shop, these thieves were stealing, and it happened that they killed this shopkeeper. The CCTV footage clearly sees him going in and coming out. So as a result, he was in prison for many years, and he had a death sentence for it. And he could not figure it out why. And later, a monk from Abhayagiri, so it's in California, this man who was in prison for over 20 years, when the time for the death penalty came, he was asked that what he wants to do or what he had any wish. And he said that he would like to stay a monk. After meeting a monk for some times, then he felt that this is his time to calm himself down. And a monk visited for a couple of times. And it happened that after many years of appealing, never successful, and after listening the monk, and when he was given a death sentence, And within a couple of months later, he was declared as innocent, but he was already dead. And that's simply the reason that it was in the night and in that particular place it happened to be. And as a result, he was imprisoned and killed. So this is also the crime that he didn't do, but because of wandering the time when it was dark. And people normally do such bad events in the night or a dark time. So there is a false accusations or committing crimes. These are always there. And the sixth one, that person has to face many different troubles. And that's again, there's always possibility of engaging in unlawful activities. Like police believe that the wooden hospital was on fire day before yesterday, but done by boys who were wandering around in the night time, so deliberately set the fire. And that is the cause of lots of loss. So these are the 6 evil consequences of going around in the night that the Buddha guided not to do to this Singhala householder. So these are some of the reasons may not feel applicable in a modern day, but when we look deeper into the acts and the consequences of it, it's very easy that we can see why Buddha laid down. And particularly in those days, it was cold, it was dark, and there's no lights, so it's easy to be the victims and lose the wealth. So this is one of the reasons why Buddha laid down this guidance that one should not wander around during the night time. So I stop here for this, and let's do the chanting.